Here's something fans always debate. Who's stronger, Luo Feng or King Seven Swords? The automaton race once listed King Seven Swords as their number 3 assassination target. And that alone tells you how legendary this guy is. But here's the thing. By the time Luo Feng becomes an immortal king, the gap between them becomes absolutely massive. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Animeverse Hubs. In Swallowed Star, two of humanity's most powerful warriors shape the destiny of their race in completely different ways. King Seven Swords represents the pinnacle of what disciplined, cultivation, and perfect technique can achieve. A warrior who mastered every aspect of his craft to perfection. Luo Feng represents something far more dangerous. Unlimited potential, unbreakable willpower, and a cultivation path that defied every conventional limit. Both reached immortal king status, but their journeys to legendary status were fundamentally different in nature and scope. Remember, this is based on the novel, so some details might differ from the Donghua version. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's dive deep into what makes these two god-tier powers vastly different. Let's start with King Seven Swords because his journey is genuinely impressive and deserves respect. He rose up from the legendary Hugh Jack's dojo and became the number 1 genius of his entire generation. That's not a small claim. We're talking about one of the most competitive cultivation factions in the human universe where only the absolute best survive. After breaking through to Immortal, he was taken in as a personal disciple by one of the universe masters from the Hugh Jack's dojo. Having a universe master as your teacher changes everything. These are beings who have comprehended the laws of the universe to near perfection. Within just a few eras, which translates to thousands of years by human standards, King Seven Swords climbed to become close to an invincible immortal king. That's the highest rank you can achieve at the immortal king level without becoming a universe venerable. Here's what's really impressive about King Seven Swords. His 7 swords form a complete top-heavy treasure set. This isn't just 7 random weapons. Each blade works in perfect harmony with the others, creating devastating attacks that distort the very laws of space itself. His mastery wasn't just about raw power. It was about perfect control, perfect technique, and perfect discipline cultivated over countless battles. Combined with the support and resources of the human race, he became a legendary immortal king comparable to a normal universe venerable. A being an entire realm above him. The fact that the automaton race listed him as their number 3 assassination target proves his legendary status. Only beings of absolutely terrifying power get put on that list. Warriors who pose genuine threats to entire civilizations. When King Lai Fall, one of the Yuan 9 terrifying beings of the 7th battlefield, led over 100 automaton race warriors with his heavy treasure decomposition tower to attack King Seven Swords at the Sealed Star. He couldn't kill him. King Lai Fall later admitted he had no guarantee of victory against absolute warriors like King Seven Swords or King Dragon Pagoda. But here's the crucial part that sets the stage for our comparison. While his talent was exceptional and he was higher than even someone like Bolin, it wasn't quite at the level of Katie or Luo Feng. That single statement tells you everything about the tier system we're dealing with. Now, let's talk about Luo Feng. And here's where things get absolutely insane. Long's foundation was fundamentally different from the very beginning. Born with a genetic fracture in his genes, his physical and mental capabilities increased 1,000-fold beyond normal humans. By age 16, he was already pushing into realms that took others decades to reach. At ages 8, 12, and 18, he fainted multiple times due to his gradually awakening spirit and powers. With each awakening propelling him forward at unprecedented speeds. But Luang's real advantage wasn't just talent. It was willpower forged in the fires of countless life and death battles. His soul strength became something extraordinary, tempered through desperate struggles that would have broken lesser warriors. Through his cultivation methods in the secret engraving path, Luo Feng was able to create techniques that exceeded what his raw law comprehension should allow. This is a game share that most cultivators can only dream of. Long created powerful clones using his Golden Horn Beast bloodline talent. A creature descended from the Gold Beast god itself, one of the 12 pinnacle bloodlines of the Space Beast race. Each clone carried a soul of extraordinary strength and an unshakable will. This wasn't just about having backup bodies. It meant his consciousness could train and grow through multiple perspectives simultaneously, accelerating his comprehension to terrifying levels. His golden horned beast body alone gave him a life gene level 10 times that of normal humans. And he would eventually push this to the perfect gene level of 81 times and later an unprecedented 100,000 times. His blood shadow sword forged into a meta-embryo weapon perfectly suited to his fighting style grew alongside him like a living extension of his will. By the time he reached Immortal King status, it had evolved to match his strength perfectly. His understanding of the law of gold reached such heights that he was recognized by the law of gold itself, a feat that represents mastery at an extremely high level. This allowed him to mobilize the power of the universe with unmatched efficiency, cutting through defenses that others thought impenetrable. But the Beast God path was where Luo Feng truly became a monster. Through the Beast God inheritance, he pursued the fusion of golden space laws. The Beast God inheritance has 7 levels, and completing different levels grants incredible power boosts. Mastering the first 3 levels makes you invincible against anything below Universe Venerable. Completing the first 6 levels makes you invincible against anything below Universe Master. The 7th level transforms you into a true Beast God, matching a Universe Master's power. Here's what separates them at the core. King's 7 swords represented the peak of what rigid disciplined cultivation could achieve within a defined system. He mastered every aspect of his craft. His technique was flawless, his treasures perfectly optimized, his position secure among the highest ranks of humanity. He did everything right, trained under a universe master, obtained incredible treasures, perfected his techniques, and pushed his comprehension as far as his talent allowed. But his growth was limitless. His comprehension evolving at a rate that left even universe masters astounded. While King's 7 swords was perfecting what he already knew, Luo Feng kept breaking his own limits, shattering boundaries that were supposed to be absolute. He obtained the Devil's Voice God General Inheritance, which increased his spirit energy amplitude to over 3,200 times, far beyond the ordinary limit of 100 times. He mastered the Beast God Transformation technique which amplified his strength exponentially through its 6 levels. Consider the concrete evidence of their power scaling. King Chaman was considered to have talent exceeding King's 7 swords with law comprehension, secret techniques, divine power amplification, and experience that could be considered perfect. Yet for Luo Feng to defeat King Chaman, he had to use his strong willpower in Beast God Conception, which reached the lower limit of the 4th level of Beast God Inheritance. This tells us that even a warrior superior to King's 7 swords couldn't match Luo Feng's power. Luo Feng's willpower was honed through the most desperate, bloodiest battles imaginable. His techniques incorporated the secret engraving path, letting him exceed what his raw law comprehension should theoretically allow. His Shuwu wings made him faster than almost anyone at his level, turning him into a blur that enemies couldn't track. His life gene level progression from 10 times as a golden horn beast to eventually achieving the perfect level of 10,000 or 81 times and ultimately reaching the legendary 100,000 times that no one had ever achieved showcased growth that defied all conventional understanding. So what happens if they actually fought at their peaks as immortal kings? King's 7 swords would bring perfect technique, perfect control, and his 7 swords forming an impenetrable web of coordinated attacks. His telekinetic control would be absolutely suffocating, manipulating space itself. His mastery of his treasure set would create combinations that had been refined through countless battles. But Luo Feng would bring raw adaptability, explosive power, and most importantly, an indomitable will that refuses to break under any circumstances. His law comprehension of gold gave him piercing power that cuts through defenses like paper. His secret engraving techniques would unleash power beyond what his actual comprehension level should allow. His Beast God transformation would amplify his already tremendous strength. His multiple bodies meant he could train in different laws simultaneously, giving him tactical options King's 7 swords couldn't match. It wouldn't be close. By the time Long reached universe venerable levels of power while still at the Immortal King cultivation level, he joined the Supreme Council as a rare universe venerable killer, Immortal King. This title meant he could kill beings in entire major realm above him. Something that should be impossible according to the normal rules of cultivation. King's 7 swords represents the path of mastery through discipline. Perfect, legendary, admirable, but ultimately bounded by his starting potential. He became invincible within his realm, but his realm had limits defined by his talent ceiling. He did everything a cultivator should do and achieve results that 99.9% of practitioners could never dream of. Luo Feng represents the path of transcendence through defiance. He kept breaking his own limits, kept evolving, kept growing past what should have been impossible according to every rule of cultivation. His journey didn't end as an immortal king. It was just the beginning of a path that would eventually lead him to become a true god and beyond. In the vast universe, there are many geniuses who reach the peak of their potential and shine brilliantly. But few are the geniuses who refuse to accept that their potential even has a peak, who look at the so-called limits and see merely another obstacle to overcome. Luo Feng was one of those rare existences. So that's the comprehensive comparison between these two legendary warriors. Both were incredible in their own right. Both made humanity proud, but they represented completely different types of genius. One was perfection embodied within a system. The other was potential incarnate that transcended systems entirely. Here's what I'm curious about, though. If you had to choose, would you rather have King Seven Swords' perfect mastery and guaranteed legendary status or Luo Feng's limitless growth potential with all the struggles that come with it? Drop your answer in the comments below. If this breakdown helped you understand the power scaling in Swallowed Star and gave you new insights into these legendary warriors, hit that like button and subscribe to our anime. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a new analysis. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. This video will end here.